Hello and welcome to your Yoga for Beginners. Today we're going to be doing a very quick but gentle movement in our body just to start getting familiar with yoga and the breath and just kind of coordinating it all together to feel unified as a human being in this present moment and just detaching from the world and stepping out of the human doing. So if you're ready, come join me on your mat. We're going to start today's practice in a seated position. So that seated position may look cross-legged, you may be sitting in a chair, kind of whatever is available for you. I'm just taking a cross-legged position without my feet stacked. They're just kind of one on top of another. But sometimes you might need to find that you need to elevate your sit bones if you're really arching and kind of rounding and reaching in your spine. So see if you need to elevate that sit bone just to get your spine nice and aligned, each vertebrae stacked one on top of another. So find what feels good. Hands come onto your knees, planted, whatever feels best. We're just going to take a few moments to breathe here and just settle in. Just feel what's going on and just observing mentally, physically, emotionally, what's kind of coming through, what's arising through here. And just notice if you're kind of sitting and closing it in that heart as you start to relax. Just see if you can kind of engage that core, that belly button kind of draws into your spine. We expand in that diaphragm and reach up through a thoracic. Maybe take a few moments. If you do feel a little closed off, just kind of rotate those shoulders out. Maybe grasp onto those knees and just invite a nice massage. Maybe wiggle it out, going side to side here. Good, so sitting tall. Engaging in our core. Beautiful. Simply observing. Now see if you can find a 3-part breath here. Let's expand. Inhale, expand your belly, expand your ribs, expand it all the way to the top of your chest, maybe pausing and holding just for a brief moment. And when you're ready, let it go through your mouth. Let a loud sigh of detach go. And again here, let's inhale, fill belly. Ribs all the way to your clavicle, all the way up. Hold. Exhale. Sigh of relief. Let it go even deeper. Try one more breath cycle just like that on your own time. And if it feels good, maybe coming into your Ujjayi's breath, where you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Just a slight constriction at the back of your throat. So you kind of make that little bit of that hum sensation, a hum sound here. So if that feels good, flow with it. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Good, let's bring our hands into our heart center. Just relax those elbows down. Inhale, reach those hands up. And they can open in your hands. You're reaching up maybe right here. Just honor your shoulder mobility. Don't compare it to mine. Exhale, hands to heart center. So that's one thing here. Let's just take a moment to breathe into our heart center and invite ourselves to completely detach from any and all expectations that we may have seen or judged upon yoga, what it should look or feel like in our body compared to anyone else's. So here and now I release any and all expectations. I release judgment to self and to others. I am coming here with an open mind and an open heart to simply just be. So here I'm ready to simply just be and detach and connect into self. So if you're ready, let's inhale, hands up above your head. Exhale, let's take that left hand and let's bring it over to the right knee. And then that left hand that right hand may come down to the side or back behind you. You may stay on your fingertips or on your palms. So just a very nice gentle twist here. Maybe feel a little bit of popping and cracking in the spine. And just being sure that you're sitting nice and tall here. Inhale, just gaze looking over towards the right or maybe even over the right shoulder. And again, you're creating space in that right shoulder. You're not dumping your shoulder into your ear. Nice and far space. Good. Inhale, let's come back to center, maybe reaching up. Bilateral arms up. And then exhale, let's twist right to the other side. So maybe that right hand comes down, left hand back behind you, beside you, on the fingertips or whatever feels best. No expectations. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths. Beautiful job. When you're ready, let's exhale. Hands come right to your heart center. Let's bow your head down. Good. Let's take a moment to just rotate in those shoulders. Bring those shoulders up into your ears a few cycles. Really scrunch in and then rotate the arms the other way, creating nice big space. Good. When yogi's ready, we're just going to come right over. So just coming over onto your knees, whatever way that makes sense to you here. We're just going to take a really gentle tabletop flow. So for your tabletop, you might tuck your toes, you might fold your mat to support your knee joints. Just invite yourself to find what feels good. And just to kind of move into this, let's just kind of wag our hips moving side to side, really engaging in that root chakra here and that solar plex. Good. So just kind of wiggling side to side, and then just start to check in here that you're pushing the floor away. You're spreading those fingers wide. And the hips are stacked over the knees, the shoulders, elbows over wrist. Good. So really simple, really gentle here. You can untuck the toes or keep them tucked, whatever feels best. On your next inhale, we're going to kind of drop that belly down. Tailbone draws up, drawing those shoulders down your back and creating space in your neck. So your gaze might be down to the floor. It might be looking up at the wall in front of you or whatever is in front of you here. Just taking one mindful breath here. Now, when you're ready, let's draw that navel into our spine. We're going to do very opposite here. Navel into spine, arch each vertebrae out. Tailbone draws down, pushing the floor away, create space in your scapula. That head hangs heavy, perhaps. Just creating space all across your vertebrae. And just stay here a few breaths. You might, again, find that wiggle moving side to side. It might feel really good. Maybe feeling sensations or whatever. Something you may have not felt in a long time. So when you're ready, let's connect with our breath. Inhale. Tailbone up, draw those shoulders away from your ears, down your back, so lats engage, belly hangs down, but keeping that core integrity. Beautiful. Maybe wiggling it out here, a few little breaths, maybe finding that kind of dog wag. And then when you're ready, let's just completely opposition here. Push the floor away, arch the spine. So now that you kind of know the flow here, you're going to just mindfully connect your breath. So inhale to open and expand the heart. Exhale to arch and round. And for some people, it might feel good to kind of just move into circles in their abdomen and to just gently flow in and out and wiggling the other way. Might even feel good to get around, moving those hips back, come all the way around, almost drawing like big circles or even figure eights, kind of that infinity, symbolizing the unity of who you are. You are that infinite soul of love and light. So do what feels good. Create space whatever way feels best. And then when yogi's ready, we're just going to drop back into a child's pose. So you might start to bring your big toes to touch. Knees may become wide. Arms out in front of you. You might stack your fist or your forearms to make a pillow for your head here. Or if it feels good, arms can reach out in front. I'm just going to simply take the pillow for now with my hands. And I'm just going to relax in my breath, creating space in my back body and my spine. So find what feels good in this moment for your body. Child's pose is very calming for the parasympathetic nervous system. Bring your body back into that home feeling. Signals that calm and serenity within. If you're experiencing anxiety, stress, insomnia, panic, or just simplicity of needing or desiring a hug, attention, and love, this is a way we can provide that for ourselves. So always know that child's pose is available to you at any and all times in your life. You might take a child's pose if you're with me here, maybe bringing those knees together. And you might bring those hands down beside you and just kind of let that head hang down. Or if it feels good, maybe bring a pillow underneath that head and maybe grasping onto your feet or your bum or your thighs. Maybe in massaging your feet if you're there as well. Your ankles. And just taking a moment to really be affectionate to yourself.
You're always enough as you are. Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. And if this is too much on your ankles, you can also fold your mat or roll a towel if your ankles can't quite hyperextend in any way. There's always variations and adjustments to make any pose work for your body. So we all are so beautifully unique and different, but also connected and harmonized in one. Good. So when yogi's ready, we're going to come up nice and gently, nice and slow after that beautiful, relaxing child's pose here. We're going to take a down dog nice and simply here. We're going to tuck our toes, lift our tailbone up, bend in those knees, and just push the floor away here. So as you push the floor away, spread those fingers wide. Each finger pad has a purpose here, creating space between your shoulders and your ears. You might even ankle those big toes just like the slightest in towards each other as you wrap that energy around your inner thighs out. And you might just walk your dog out here. Bend deep into one knee and the other. Creating space and just inviting that beautiful harmony in your hamstrings and your calves, right? That lower back, the whole entire spine creates space. Beautiful. Tailbone is the peak of your body here. Let's stay here and just kind of walk it out. I know it might feel quite intense for some of you. Nice and slow breaths. When you're ready, just simply walk. You have 2 options to walk your hands towards your feet or walk your feet towards your hands, or you might just meet in the middle of both. Take a moment to just hang out here in a little bit of a ragdoll. Hands might come to your elbows. They might sway side to side. Bend your knees. Let your tummy fall into your tummy here. Or let your tummy fall into your thighs. Be supported. Okay? Create space in your vertebrae, across your back. Good. Shake your head yes and no. Letting go of everything that's no longer serving you here. When you're ready, let's root into those feet, bend in those knees, soft hands. Let's come into a half lift. So hands come maybe into your thighs or to your calves, shoulders, elbows coming towards the back of the room. Nice flat back here, kind of creating a capital L with your body. Inhale, active pose, heart really proud. Exhale, soft knees, hands come down. Let's root to rise. Let's come all the way up. Reaching those hands and right home to your heart center. If it feels safe, close your eyes here. Let's draw that navel into our spine, rooting in through our core. Tailbone draws down towards your heels, legs active. Inhale, find that power breath within. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reaching up with those palms, reaching beautifully tall. Exhale, forward fold, beautiful. Inhale, let's find that half lift. Legs engaged, back flat, beautiful. Exhale, now we're going to plant our hands. So you have a couple options. As we come down, you can come right down into a full plank. As long as you're pushing that floor away, you're creating space. That tailbone kind of draws down towards your heels, or you're dropping right down onto your knees. Whatever is perfectly fine. Push the floor away here. Inhale, lengthen. We're going to exhale as we kind of move into that chaturanga flow. It's a bit of that tricep push up here. So as you lower down, you might take your weight a little bit forward over those fingers here. Just be mindful of your wrists and how they're feeling. You might skip out of this. Tailbone draws down towards your heels. When you're ready to lower down, you're going to find that parallel body with your elbow, shoulder in line in your ribs, right? So as you start to come down, if your shoulders are dipping forward, I want you just to skip right out of that. Maybe just lower right down into your belly nice and slow. Because if we are focused so much on just finding the beautiful vinyasa flow, we might end up hurting our shoulders. So moving nice and slow, you might find that halfway lift and you might come up into your up dog. Or if you can't quite get that core activation, just nice and slow, lower yourself down onto the mat, wherever you are. And you might inhale, come into a cobra so that head and chest are lifted, shoulders, elbows towards the back of the room. Big toe mounds are grounded into the
the ground here, shoelaces of the feet, and that core activation, back activation. So beautiful, gentle, upward back bend. So taking the more different variation, a little bit slower here, you can either come down or come into that cobra and then mindfully make your way back to that tabletop and find your down dog. So the other variation of this is staying up on your toes or on your knees, lowering down chaturanga halfway. Inhale, finding that up dog where you're staying on those big toe mounds again, but now you're lifting up even greater back bend. So those feet are aligned with those femurs and your shoulders are pulling back. Your heart is beautifully open, huge front body opener here. Maybe even lifting up off those knees, hovering up dog. Be mindful of your lower back and how that feels. And you might tuck back, find that down dog. So when you're ready, we'll get a chance to put that all together here in just a moment. We'll come flowing through that beautifully. So take a moment to practice what you need to. Meet me at your down dog when you're ready. Just going to walk out your dog. Good. When you're ready, let's inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, you might step, hop, or jump. Make your way gently there. Hanging out in that forward fold for a moment. Shake out those wrists if you need to. And if you're like, yeah, my wrists are like super done right now, that's fine. Maybe come right into your child's pose. Let's inhale. Find your half lift. Exhale, hands come down, knees bend, root to rise, all the way up, reaching tall and beautifully, surrendering up into the heavens. Exhale, hands come to your heart center. Coming back into that heart center vibration of love, of acceptance, of being enough as you are. Beautiful. So from here, let's put it all together. If you're ready with me, friends, let's inhale, reaching hands up. Exhale, find your forward fold. Inhale, yogi, find your half lift. Exhale, let's plant our hands. Let's step back to our version of plank, whether that's high plank or low plank. Inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, lower down to your version of chaturanga. Inhale into your version of up dog or cobra, heart open. Smile on that beautiful face, friends. Exhale, find your tabletop or maybe right back to your down dog. Beautiful. When you're ready, let's inhale, look between our hands. Let's exhale, step, hop, or jump. Inhale, find your half lift, back flat, core active. Exhale, soft knees, hands come down, rooting to rise all the way up, right home to your heart center. Good. Inhale, reaching your hands up. Exhale, forward fold. So just having your hands, maybe fingertips, just gently grazing the mat here. Let's ground down through that right foot, step back with the left. So we're going to step back into a very gentle warrior one. So back foot planted. When you're ready, engage those glutes, hip flexors. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up. You might need to kind of walk yourself up with your hands if you need to here. So maybe adjusting your stance as you kind of come a little bit into this. Hips are forward, back foot planted, all toes are facing forward. Back foot's about that 45-degree angle. Glutes are engaged, hip flexors engaged, core active, tailbone draws down to the floor. With all those steps together, let's inhale. Reach up through our hands and maybe creating space in those shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, lengthen, smile if that feels good. Then when you're ready, we're going to exhale, open up warrior two. So just kind of adjusting your stance here, finding that left foot is parallel with the short edge of your mat. Right toes are forward. Now you're going to see that right heel comes to your left arch for that heel to arch alignment. Maybe lengthening your stance, maybe getting a little bit of a parallel thigh with that right leg. And just make note here that your hips aren't going one way or the other. They're just gently sitting down parallel to the mat. Arms are reaching long. Flipping those right fingertips up. Let's tilt back towards that straight leg. So note here that your upper body is the one that's moving and your legs are firmly grounded and planted. Inhale, create space in that right side body. Now exhale, maybe that right hand comes down into your thigh to hover. That left hand reaches up. That right hand may just graze on the inside of that thigh. Or for extra core, reaching that right hand up. Beautiful. Let's tilt back one more time to exalt. Now, when you're ready, let's just exhale. You might windmill wiper your hand. Oh, I can't say words here. Windmill your hands to that right foot, then step forward with the left if that's accessible to you, or just come here whenever you're ready. Then when you're ready, let's do the same thing on the other side. So lift that right foot up, step that right foot back, planting it, standing right into your warrior one here. So all toes facing forward, engage those glutes, hip flexors. Inhale, reach tall, grounding in through your core, rooting down through your tailbone. Lift your heart up, find what's accessible in your shoulders. Core active, core strong here, beautiful. Inhale, lengthen. When you're ready, let's exhale, open up warrior two. So you might need to adjust your stance a little bit. Find that maybe a little bit wider stance. Hips are rooted down here. Activation within the legs, maybe finding that parallel thigh. Heel to arch alignment, friends. Beautiful. Arms reach out. You're going to find a lot of burning lower leg work if you're not familiar with yoga poses yet. Or if you are, maybe you're just coming in here for a little bit of alignment. That's perfect. Now let's flip those left palms up and tilt back towards that right leg. Again, core integrity. Legs don't move. Upper body flows here, creating lots of thoracic intercostal space here. So really breathe, deepen your breath, maybe staying in that yogic breath. Then when you're ready, coming into that extended side angle. Big, length, long right side body. Keeping space between that left shoulder and ear. Tilting all the way back. Beautiful. Then when you're ready, you may just start to walk that back foot in, because that last one was a little bit long for me. So walk that back foot in. Then simply step and then window over your feet here. Beautiful. Let's go inhale, half lift. Exhale. Let's go root to rise all the way up. And right home to your heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, reaching up through your palms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find your half lift. Exhale, let's plant those hands and just step right back to a down dog here. So find a nice length in your spine. Maybe wiggle your hips out going side to side here, wagging that tail. Then when you're ready, just simply drop down to those knees. Let's find a child's pose, maybe lengthen out in those arms. Take a moment just to reach those arms out in front of you, whatever that looks like, adding any support if you need at your ankles. If it's accessible, maybe lifting up on those fingertips of your fingers here, and creating space in your scapula in the back of your heart. Inhale, big breath, beautiful, let it go. Move those arms, maybe creating that pillow for your head or leaving them straight out in front of you or beside you. Wherever you are in your child's pose, let's just start by taking centering breaths. Maybe noting how your body is feeling now compared to the beginning of class. Taking a few mindful moments for you here. Relax the muscles of the face. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue. Relax your neck. Relax your back, your chest, and where you hold so deeply in your abdomen, just see if you can let it go here. I know you're all squished up in this child's pose, but just see if you can let it go. Just relax. Let go of your hips, your thighs, your knees, your toes. Mindfully breathing here. Mindfully accepting yourself exactly as you are. Knowing you're perfect and you're enough, and you're whole and you're worthy. Stay here and breathe. When you're ready, just gently and slowly making your way out, but I encourage you to stay here for at least 1 more minute of just a deep mindfulness after your moving meditation, which is the yoga practice. Thank you so incredibly much for joining me here today. If you enjoyed this, please share, please like, subscribe to my page, and leave a comment, whatever resonated with you today. Appreciate you and your presence, the light and love inside of me. Sees and always the same light and love in each and every one of you. Namaste.